Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's GTA video, we're going to be taking a look at an update to the insane leaks that we looked at the other day for GTA 6. What I'm saying is probably the biggest leaks we've seen so far, not only based off of the information that was presented, but how it was presented and how that can be backed up and proved. Now, before we get into that, just a quick example. A lot of people have been asking, why we cover these leaks and what's the chance of them actually being real? Well, the case is probably more than you think. There's been plenty of examples in the past. Let's just take a look at the last two games. Let's begin with GTA 5, this screenshot right here. You might not make anything of it now. It just looks like a submarine in the water near the docks. But this screenshot first appeared online on March 24th, 2013. And if that date doesn't ring a bell, well, it should, because it's about 7 months before GTA 5 actually came out. And at the time when this screenshot was released, a lot of people were like, oh, this is clearly fake. It's Photoshop. It's a Grand Theft Auto 4 mod. Nope, this was the real deal. This was GTA 5. 7 months before the game actually came out. And remember this, Red Dead Redemption 2, this is a rough version of the map that came out about 6 months before the game actually released. Now, there were some final tweaks to the original map, but still a lot of the locations and the overall design was 100% spot on. So yes, leaks that come out about Rockstar Games titles have been correct in the past, and there's a chance that the leaks we are seeing for GTA 6 are 100% correct too. So in case you missed my video the other day, which I'll leave a link to it in the description, essentially Rockstar looks to have been scouting Miami and southern parts of Florida for their next GTA title. This has been confirmed by a document we looked at. It was also confirmed by a podcast that we actually listened to that sort of corroborated the two events together. But one of the things I mentioned is that this is not unusual for Rockstar to do. In fact, Rockstar did the exact same thing for Grand Theft Auto 5 back in 2010. About a year before the game was announced. And in an interview that Dan Houser did with The Guardian just before Grand Theft Auto 5 released on September 7th, 2013, we got a better idea on how long Rockstar spent in Los Angeles trying to create the area of San Andreas and Los Santos. So Dan Houser goes on to say, the single longest process is always creating the world, revealing that the new Los Santos map is bigger than those of GTA 4, GTA San Andreas, and Red Dead Redemption 2 combined. It's not surprising to learn that he sat geography at Oxford. We spent a minimum 100 days in Los Angeles on research trips, probably more. He says of production, which began at the height of the U.S.'s subprime financial crisis in 2010. Out and about all night long with weird people, strange cops showing us around, a lot of firsthand research. We spoke to FBI agents that have been undercover, experts in the mafia, street gangsters who know the slang. We even went to see a proper prison. Those poor buggers in the middle of the salt flat desert miles away. It was eye-openingly depressing. So not only does that confirm that Rockstar employees were in Hollywood, in Los Angeles, in the state of California in 2010, it also tells us for how long they were there, which was roughly about 100 days. Now, we don't know if that was 100 straight days, if that was spread out over a couple of years, what the case was. Now, like many of you guys, I found it interesting that Rockstar was doing their scouting now. You heard Dan Houser say there in that interview that creating the map is one of the first things that they do. So if they were just now creating the map for GTA 6, it would be years away. Could be 5, 6, 7 years. And that doesn't seem like it would match up with Rockstar's timeline, and certainly doesn't match up with what we've seen so far. And former Rockstar Games insider Yan2295 had some interesting things to say about this that I think makes a lot of sense. So he said, this is very interesting, but assuming the podcast is indeed from May, it sounds like the scouting has been going on then, which seems way too late. There's no way they're only getting started with research this year. With their letter alone, we could have assumed it was a few years old, but then with this, it seems weird. And then he goes on to say, forgot the letter mentions October, maybe October 2018. still seems too late. And in case you guys were confused about the letter, maybe questioning its legitimacy, the letter is written by Leah, who is not from Rockstar Games nor Take-Two Interactive. So it's not a surprise that she's more casual when referring to Rockstar as simply Rockstar and not Rockstar Games. Although I'm not sure why the card at the top mentions Take-Two Interactive. Maybe it was like a business card of someone that she was talking to. Who knows? And as sort of a follow-up to that, he says the letter is mainly talking about scouting interiors though, which maybe could explain why this is done later in the development cycle. The scouting for the map itself can be done a while ago, and now they're on to some interiors, which is not as much a priority for the beginning of the development, I guess. So I guess that makes sense why now in 2018 and 2019, Rockstar is scouting interiors and not necessarily streets and roads and developing the world itself. It's just like anything you would do in real life, like building a house. You would build the foundation and the exterior first before working on the interior. So that makes sense, and I can see why Rockstar is doing this now. Now, also, a quick update to what we talked yesterday regarding that podcast featuring Leah and her time as the Film Florida president. We talked about how she worked on some really cool projects like Ballers, Graceland, stuff like that. Well, apparently the podcast originally aired on January 28th, and this also might not be as relevant, but according to her IMDb page, Leah was also a location scout for Miami Vice, which is a show that Rockstar would most likely take some inspiration from. So if you don't know what Miami Vice was, it was a TV show that aired from 1984 to 1990. It featured two detectives, Sonny Crockett and Ricardo Tubbs, and they're essentially detectives living life in the cocaine boom of the 1980s with many framed stories about drugs and murder. And it's your typical like 80s movie crime show. It's really awesome. If you've never seen it, I do recommend watching it. And this certainly would be a nice inspiration for Rockstar. In fact, we've seen in the past that sometimes full games or missions are completely taken from pop culture, TV shows, movies, stuff like that. I mean, heck, pretty much the entire plot of Vice City was basically just Scarface. So it's clear that Rockstar takes a lot of their references for their game from pop culture. So the fact that she's worked on something as successful and popular like Miami Vice is obviously another really good sign. Now, let's assume the letter we were talking about is real, the one that talks about Rockstar doing scouting. I was confused where it actually came from and who actually took the photo. Well, apparently the original source is a new user on Reddit. A user Fresh305954. And when I'm recording this video 7 days ago, they posted on the GTA 6 subreddit, GTA 6 and Vice City confirmed. And the only thing they said is, I work at a local shop in Wynwood, and Rockstar had scouts looking at the area, and asked my manager permission to take pictures of the building for reference, and that she works for Rockstar, etc. So in case you guys don't know, Wynwood is actually like a suburb or a little bit of a district of Miami. It's a pretty cool little area, so that is a legitimate area that is real. However, when he posted that 7 days ago, he didn't actually post a photo of the contract, and no one believed him. Everyone said, nice try, this is super fake. And then 2 days later, he posted the original document that we looked at the other day, and that I'll show on the screen for you guys right here. This is like the original version that was found, and when he posted that, it seems like a lot of people started to believe him now. Now, the only other thing I'd be interested in is if there's any more to this document. Like, you can kind of see there's a second page there that looks to have some more information. So I'm not sure what's actually like on the backside of this. Is it more details? The user on Reddit who posted the original photo, which by the way, I will leave a link to his page in the description, has posted some comments responding to a few people and has made a couple more posts, but hasn't posted any more new information and certainly hasn't posted like the backside of the document. But of course, if there are any updates to this saga, specifically from this user, I'll be sure to keep you guys in the loop. So again, I don't know if this makes it any more legitimate or less legitimate, but I just found it interesting to see where like the actual source of this came from. So I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. That's sort of an update to the biggest leak that we've seen so far in GTA 6. Again, let me know if you think it's real. Let me know if you think it's fake and why in the comments down below. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and Red Dead Redemption videos that I'm doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.